This is the guitar lesson for Queens under pressure, the easy way and the correct way. Alright, make sure your guitar is in standard E tuning. And also make sure you have a clean tone, okay? So let's talk about this first part. We'll call this the verse, okay? That's the... Alright, so for this part, that chord right there, we have a ring finger on the 7th fret G string, we have our pinky on the 7th fret B string, okay, just like that. Pointer finger on the 5th fret E string. Alright, and this strumming pattern is basically the same, or this picking pattern is the same throughout the verse, okay? So, this is how it should go. Alright, so I'm plucking the G string, then the B, then back to the G, then to the E, then back to the G, then back to the B. Alright, so very slow. Notice I made this note hang a little bit, okay? I let it ring for probably twice as long as the rest of the notes that I play, okay? So, really slow again. Okay, now the next finger shape we go to is this right here. We bar the 5th fret on the B and the E string with our pointer finger. Take your middle finger, put it on the 6th fret, what's that, the G string, okay? So, same picking pattern. Alright, next shape. Actually, it's the same shape, just kidding. Move it down to the 3rd and the 4th fret, okay? So from the 5th and the 6th, where we were just at, move it down 2 frets and you'll have this. Alright, so that's the next finger shape. And finally, the last finger shape we gotta know is this, okay? And this is the last part of that line. We take our pointer finger on put it on the 2nd fret G string, our middle finger on the 2nd fret B string, and that's it. Okay, this part's a little bit different because there's a walk down. It goes... Okay, so we go... Okay, so watch what I'm doing. I'm going G, B, G, E, and E is open, and I'm letting the E ring for an extended amount of time, and that's when I do the walk down. So I go... And then I put my ring finger on the 3rd fret B string, and then I take it off. And so I'm now hitting my middle finger on the 2nd fret B string. And then I take that finger off, my middle finger, play it open, the B string open. And then the last note I play is on the G string 2nd fret. This finger was there the whole time, and that's my pointer finger, okay? So this is how it sounds very slow. I'm sorry. One more time. Okay, and so that's the verse. Basically, it's that. Now there is one change, okay? That is played the majority of the time. However, you'll notice one line, it sounds a little bit different, okay? It sounds a little bit more, like there's a little bit more conflict in it, or maybe a minor chord, which there is, okay? So the second verse, or the second line that I should say, is this. Okay? So let's talk about that. The first finger shape is the same. Now this is where it changes up a little bit. That second finger shape is the same, however, we're putting our ring finger on that 7th fret and then taking it off. So listen very closely. Okay, so G, B, G, E, and on that E, my ring finger's on the 7th fret, alright? And then we go back down to G, and then we play E on the 5th fret. So it should sound like this. Really slow. Alright, now this chord, this next chord is a lot different than anything we've seen so far in this progression. Okay? So we move down to that same shape we had before, and what we do is this. Okay? So we have that same shape, and that's our pointer fingers barring the 3rd fret on both the B and the E, and then we have our middle finger on the 4th fret on the G, and what we're doing is this. So I'm going E, B, G, and then I move my pointer finger down and I just play that one note, and that's the 2nd fret on the E string. So, all right, and with my middle finger still on that 4th fret G string, I pluck it once, and then I move my pointer finger back in that same position, and I pluck my pointer finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. So listen very closely, okay? And then I go into the final position. So it should sound like. The nice thing to know is that last little is the same as before, okay? So those are the 2 different lines of the verse, okay? Now let's go into the pre-chorus, okay? So after we go to G and A, G, and what I'm doing is it's all downstrokes, and I'm playing it once through really hard and then just little strums. You can hear it, so play along with the song. This is a really easy part of the song to get, probably the easiest part we'll learn. So. G, A, we finish on D. G, A. Okay, so A, and here's the finish. Strum D, and then you pluck both the B and the G string. Okay, so you go D, then back to G, A, boom, dun, 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 dun. Then it goes into the 2nd verse, okay? Not too bad. All right, so we have the pre-chorus down, we have the verse. We're almost there, we're almost done, okay? Now where it switches up a little bit in the middle of the song is where the song dies down. And it basically, this is almost like an interlude or a bridge part of the song. It goes. Shut on the fence, and I don't know. Keep nothing, dun, 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 tone wide. So, okay, that whole part right there. All we're doing is we have a G power chord. And so you don't have to make the whole bar chord. It looks like I'm making a whole bar chord, but all I'm doing is I have my pointer finger on the 3rd fret E string, I've got my ring finger on the 5th fret A string, and my pinky on the 5th fret D string, okay? So I'm just strumming that very lightly, and just those 3 strings, so. And now C, just move that pattern down 1 string. All right, C, G, C. Then this time we play G, we kind of strum it a little bit more, and we pluck that note right there. So I'm actually barring the chord right there. So I'm going, and then I do G, or I'm sorry, I go to C, and what I do is I just basically do that. So I have a C, and this finger is actually barring, it's touching the 3rd fret E string, okay? So I'm kind of strumming through all those strings, okay? Probably these 5 strings I'm using, not this lower E, but it's basically a C power chord, and then I basically put my pointer finger down, so I'm hitting both the 3rd fret on the E and the A string, okay? And then I go G, D, A, E. All right, then I hit A, and then I go down to F, and I basically just strum F, and I go. And then I end on E, okay? So I know that strumming pattern was a little bit crazy on F. Let's talk about it really quick. I'll slow it down so you can see it, okay? So I go. So down, up, down, up. So. So hopefully you could see that. And then you go up to A. You strum it once, and then you basically come in and just do down strums. And then we go to G, play G once, and then D, G, A, G, D, G, A, G, D. Okay? And then we go into this part, which we go back down here to this part on the fretboard. We play D. And remember that chord from the beginning, where the walk down is? We play that same chord. So it's pointer finger on the 2nd fret, G string, middle finger on the 2nd fret, B string, okay? We'll call that it's like almost like an A sus2, but you move it up, or I'm sorry, you move it down one string, okay? So, and then G, then A, D, A sus thing, G, A, and you can actually hear some notes, so let's put some notes in there. This is what I did in my cover. I went, all right, and that's how it's played in the song. So I strum through D, so I go down, down, up, and then when I hit up, I kind of walk down, so I go E string, B string, G string, and then I go to the next chord. That's that A sus thing. All right. Now G. Now A. All right. And so he plays that a couple times, and then it goes into this last part, the daring around ourselves, this is our last chance, this is our last chance. D, this is our G, A, under pressure, dun 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 dun. One last part is you can hear it goes on the piano, and then you go. If you listen to the track, you'll totally be able to hear it. But what I do is I put my ring finger on the 12th fret D string, my middle finger on the 12th fret A string, and I just go D, A. That's all I do. And that's all the guitar parts of the song, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. Please subscribe to my channel. Go grab my free list of top secret guitar tips where I'll get you amazing in no time. All right, and also if you'd like to learn guitar without ever taking one lesson, please go to teachmeguitar.GuitarMadeEZ.com and you will get good. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next guitar lesson. Later.